going to be a human being trying to convince human being that he is an angel, would they believe in him? And if he brings them miracles to prove that he's an angel, then it's the same thing, like the human messenger when he brings them a miracle. If they couldn't believe a human being to make these actually as signs of his prophethood, why would they believe in an angel then, or someone who claims to be an angel who possesses these powers and these miracles? So eventually there is no meaning of sending them a messenger, an angelic messenger in the form of a human being. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them all in a form of, in actually being humans. Now what does that mean to us if they were humans? So okay, so what do we get from them being humans? What are the implications of sending a human messenger? Number one, they went through trials. When you know that they're human beings, you believe that whatever they've gone through was part of their trial as human beings. So in this case, you would accept the challenges that they had to go through. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about Ayyub alayhi salam. وَأَيُّوبَ إِذْ نَادَى رَبَّهُ أَنِّي مَسَّنِيَ الضُّرُّ وَأَنْتَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Ayyub, remember Ayyub when he cried to his Lord, truly distress has seized me, but you are the most merciful of those that are merciful. Means I'm looking for your mercy, my Lord. Ayyub had to go through this huge trial to prove his devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being a role model in devotion for the human beings. That was part of his mission, to show that kind of human actually model in patience, perseverance and patience in such an extraordinary circumstances of trials and difficulties. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also spoke about Ismail, وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَإِدْرِيسَ وَذَا الْكِفْلِ كُلٌّ مِّنَ الصَّابِرِينَ. And remember Ismail, Idris and Dhul Kifl, all men of constancy and patience. Why would Allah mention that they were patient? Because they had to go through some circumstances that required from them to persevere in patience. In the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, there were some prophets who received specific trials. That's why when the Prophet ﷺ was asked a question about who are those people who received the hardest trials, أَيُّ النَّاسِ أَشَدُّ بَلَاءً. That was the question that was given to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Messenger ﷺ قال الأنبياء ثم الأمثل فالأمثل. He said salawatullah wasalam alayhi, the hardest in trials are those prophets. So first of all the prophets, ثم الأمثل فالأمثل means those who are closer to them, those who are closer to them. And the meaning of that means those who are closer to the path of the Anbiya. So those who were around the Anbiya were given the greatest trials after the Anbiya. Look at the disciples of Isa alayhi salam. What happened to them? They had to go through a lot of actually trials, and they had to travel all around the globe to escape persecution and punishments. So they were actually tried severely because of their devotion. Then comes the ulama and the salihin and the righteous ones. And then the Prophet ﷺ says, يُبْتَلَى الْمَرْءُ عَلَى قَدْرِ دِينِهِ. Everybody will be tried in accordance to their strength of their iman. So those who have stronger iman, their trial will be stronger. And those who had kind of weak iman, they will be tried in accordance to their iman. So the trials will be different. So when we talk about the severity of these trials, it's a relative issue based on the strength of the iman of every individual. So some of these trials of the Anbiya that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned to us. Number one here, Yunus alayhi salam. Do you know the trial of Yunus, ya Jama'ah? What was the trial of Yunus? So what's the trial of Yunus? Yunus, when he was on the ship. So he went into the ship, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tried him because he left without permission from his Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was thrown into the ocean of the sea, and he remained into the belly and the stomach of that whale for 40 days and 40 nights. He is doing nothing but asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness and saying, La ilaha illa ant subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. وَذَنُّونِ إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking about him. And remember Dhannun, Yunus alayhi salam. When he left his people because he was very upset with them, and Allah tried him by spending all these nights and days in the belly of the whale until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought him back again to the shore. So that's one of the greatest trials. I mean, he was in darkness above darkness. The darkness of the belly of the whale, the darkness of the ocean, and the darkness of the clouds. So basically all these kind of trials, and he didn't even know when this trial will be over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieved him at the end of that test and that trials. Then we have Yusuf alayhi salam as an example. Yusuf alayhi salam, his trials began when he was a young boy. Started with his brothers, with his siblings. and then it moved on and slowly and gradually. Every kind of trial you can think of,